You're listening to JFDI with the Two Lauras, the podcast for social media freelancers who want to get more visible, streamline their systems, master their mindset, and make more sales. I'm Laura Davis, and alongside my co-host Laura Moore, we're on a mission to make working as a freelancer easier, because working from home shouldn't mean working alone.
On today's show, I want to talk to you about a window of time that is opening up right now that could add a really decent chunk of income to your business before Christmas. Now, most social media managers will miss out on this completely, and it's not because they can't do what I'm going to talk about. It's because the second I tell you what I'm going to talk about, half of them will turn this podcast off and decide it's not for them. So do me a favour and don't be one of those people. Don't switch the podcast off, because this could be the single biggest thing you could do to add to your business this year and increase your income this year, but also next year, the year after, continuing, right? I can already feel people hovering over that pause button. I'm going to tell you what this is, and I want you to stick with me, okay? Because I know that you will flinch. I want to talk to you about offering ads. Don't turn off. I know you're flinching. If you're not already running ads, you're like, yeah, this isn't the podcast for me. Everyone else can run ads, but I can't. And you're tensing up. But listen, if you just give me 10 minutes, you may have a change of heart. I think I can change your mind and help you to realise that actually ads are not as scary as you currently think they are. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I can't run ads because I'm not techie enough, I don't know how, I'm too scared of spending somebody else's money and then maybe getting blamed when it doesn't work, you are exactly the person who should run ads. Because people who don't worry about those things don't make good ads managers. You probably think, yeah, but organic is easy. Organic gives me a cover. If I have a really bad month, it's probably because of the algorithm. It's also because I can't really control what other people do on social. I can't control if they're going to engage. I can't control if the client's website's crap. So it's not really my fault. Whereas ads kind of leave a receipt. They show a client how much of their money I've spent. So therefore, if things go wrong, it is my fault. And if you think that is totally fine. But that is the exact proof that you will make a really good ads manager, because it means that you will take this seriously. And anyone who doesn't have those thoughts and isn't worried or scared about spending a client's money isn't a good ads manager. It means they're not worried about that budget. They're not worried about what happens to that money. So they're not going to be doing every single thing they can to make sure they get a good result or a good return on investment for their client. Whereas you will, because you're already worried about it. Do you see where I'm going? I've been running ads for years and I still worry about a client's budget. That fear never goes. I know all the things I need to do to be able to manage that budget well, but I still worry about it because it's not my money. Other people have that fear and they run ads every single day. Laura probably has that fear. I should have asked her before I recorded this podcast. But if you have that fear, it means you're going to be a really good ads manager. Now, another thing you might think about why you can't run ads is because maybe you think you're a content person, or you're like a creative person. You're better at writing or recording videos or editing graphics. Your happy place is Canva. Yeah, hi, that's me too. I am not good at numbers. I dislike data. It's not where I thrive. If I can avoid data, I absolutely will. But I'm still a really good ads manager. Laura's the opposite. Laura's really good at data, but she doesn't enjoy the writing side. She doesn't enjoy the creative side. She is still a really good ads manager. Could we join forces and I do the creative and the copy and she does the data? Yeah, of course we could. Do we? No, because we just don't have time to do that. But it doesn't mean that either of us are not a good ads manager. And if you're a data person but not a creative person, you can still be a great ads manager. If you're a creative person but not a data person, again, you can still be a great ads manager. The benefit that you have against anyone else who is thinking about becoming an ads manager in Q4 this year is that you already work in social. You already understand marketing. You understand how the platforms work. You understand the audiences, all of those things. You're already doing a lot of the job that an ads manager does. So you're never actually going to be learning ads from scratch. You're just leveling up what you already do on an organic basis so that you can increase your income, help your clients more, and add this additional service on top. And a lot of social media managers do organic and ads. They don't just do one or the other. Yeah, sure. You might go down the path of doing both and then deciding, actually, I much prefer ads. I'm just going to do ads. And that can be really lucrative. But you might like the variety. You might like to do both. You might have clients who want both of those services. So it's not a case of pick one or the other. It's a case of you already know how to do organic social. You're already really good at that. You already enjoy it. Or maybe you don't and you want to take some of those parts away. And maybe ads can do that as well. But ads is the next layer up. If you think about it as like a ladder, it's the next step up that rung on the ladder. So all those fears, I hope I've put those kind of at rest a little bit so you can stick with me for the rest of this podcast. Because like I said, if you are worried about spending other people's money, it means you're going to be a good ads manager. If you are a content and a creative kind of person, it means you're going to be able to create great ads. If you're a data person, it means you're going to understand the data. But you don't have to do all of those things, especially in this amazing world of AI. Can I just go and grab the data from Ads Manager and chuck it in Claude and ask it to tell me what it's telling me? Yes, I can. Can a client do that? Yeah, probably, but they still won't know what to do in Ads Manager afterwards, whereas you will, right? So we've got all these tools that will help us these days, which is brilliant. So like I said, we are heading into this incredible window of opportunity where businesses are going to start hiring ads managers. So let's talk about who. Who are these businesses that could hire you and when are they going to do it? The most obvious one for Q4 is the retail, the e-com kind of businesses, the gifting, the food, the drinks, the Christmas events, like things that we buy around Christmas, around Black Friday, all of those sorts of things. Those are the businesses who have a big spike, not only in their income and their revenue and their turnover, but also in their ads budget in Q4. So what do you spend money on in Q4? Is it gifts? Is it food? Is it drink? Is it going to places? Is it restaurants? Like, what are those places? You can write a list of those. Those are the kind of businesses that hire for Q4 for ads managers. They've got budget to spend and they need somebody to help them to do it. So that's like your Q4 kind of businesses. But you don't want to just offer ads in Q4. Ads can be lucrative all year round. So let's go into the first part of next year. What do we do when a new year comes? Most of us think, oh, new year, new me. So we maybe go and join a gym. We look into health and wellness and fitness. So all of that whole massive industry has a huge spike in like January, February, including in their ads. And actually some of them start spending money on ads kind of December time. So you've got that whole sector. We also, in the beginning part of the year, maybe moving into spring, think about improving our homes. So trades, home improvement, interiors, those kind of businesses, those are brilliant for early in the year and springtime. What about in the summer? What do we do in the summer? In the summer, we go on holidays. Sometimes we buy garden furniture. We have days out. We buy new clothes for the summer. So there's all of those kind of businesses who are in the summer. Now, every business has their own kind of calendar of where their like peaks and troughs are and when they make their sales, where their busy seasons are, where they want to spend ads. Some are all year round. If you think about coaches, course creators, membership site owners, software, all the things that you spend money on all year round, food, for example, we buy that all year round. Therefore, it makes sense that people would spend money on ads all year round. So there are constantly businesses out there who want to hire somebody to manage their ads for them. But what they're not doing is just hiring people to run ads because they don't know how to or because they don't have time. They're hiring people because they want to spend money on ads and get a return on that investment in terms of leads, bookings, sales, customers, whatever the language is that they need, right? Exactly the same as if they're hiring an organic social media manager. They're not just hiring an organic social media manager because they don't have time to go and create content. That's not the case. They're doing it because they need the content to grow their business in some way. Maybe they need leads, maybe they need website traffic, maybe they're trying to sell something. It's exactly the same reasons that they're hiring social media managers, that they're hiring ads managers. It's just that there's this additional budget on top of it. But Laura, I don't know how to run ads. I know, don't worry, I'm getting there. The good news is that you already know most of how to run ads. What? What am I talking about? Just stick with me here, right? You know how to content plan. Yeah? You've been content planning for your clients. Therefore, you know about planning. You know what goes into that kind of planning stuff. That means you can plan a campaign. Nice. You already research the audiences for your new clients. You take a client on, you go and find out about their audience, what kind of content would resonate with them, all of that stuff. So you know about the audiences. Great. That means you know how to go and research to target audiences with ads. You look at the analytics when you are creating organic content. Brilliant. That means you kind of understand what you're looking at to spot patterns, to see if content's worked well. Great. That means that you kind of know how to spot patterns and see if ads are doing well, right? Yes, there's other numbers that you look at in ads, but you know the basics. You are creating content, or you're getting content from your clients, so you know how to pull it out of them. Brilliant. That means you can create content for ads, or you can go and get it from your clients to use it in Ads Manager. You're writing captions. Brilliant. That means you can write ad copy. So you're not actually a beginner. You're not learning ads from scratch. You're way ahead of anyone else who wants to start thinking about being an ads manager, but has never worked as a social media manager. You've got all these skills that those other ads managers don't have, which is brilliant. You're not starting from scratch. Yeah? You already know all this stuff. It's so good. It's so good to transition from a social media manager to also offering ads, because you are so far ahead of the game and you know so many things. It's just tweaking how you think about those things and pressing different buttons in a different place. That's all it is. And the money is really good. The money is really good as an ads manager. And you can do this in various different ways, but the way that we would recommend is that you charge a monthly retainer for managing ads in exactly the same way that you would if you are offering organic social and you're charging a monthly retainer. Ads sit on top of what you're already doing, or they replace the organic entirely if you don't want to do that anymore. So you're being paid a monthly retainer for managing these ads, and then the client pays directly to Meta for the ad spend. So you never see that money. That money never goes into your bank, doesn't come anywhere near you. It goes straight to Meta. And you're then just charging them on top. So it's like a recurring income that you're going to get every single month, right? Brilliant. So if you are currently stuck with low paying clients, or you're stuck and you've hit this income ceiling and you want to earn more money, ads is brilliant. It's one of the biggest single kind of levers that you've got in your business that you can pull to upsell to an existing client and make more money from existing clients. Now, I'm not saying this is like a get rich quick system, absolutely not, but it is a brilliant service that you can stack on top of what you already do, so you can top up what you're already earning. It's why most of the time when we do our surveys to see what people are charging, the people who are making the most money are the people who are also offering ads. They're either offering ads on top of organic or instead of organic, and you can do either. You can continue offering organic services and offer ads as well, which a lot of social media managers do. Or you can just offer ads. You might get 6 months down the line and think, actually, I way prefer just doing ads. So I'm just going to sack off the organic things and I'm just going to offer ads, which is brilliant too. In terms of timing, ads can work really well if you are somebody who's short on time, because there can be periods when you're managing ads that you don't need to do very much at all. You can literally get those ads working really well, and it could be weeks that you don't have to make any changes because they're ticking along and they're making your clients really good money. But then there might be weeks where there's a lot to do and you're building out new ad campaigns or making lots of different tweaks. And it's whereas with organic content, you're constantly creating, constantly scheduling, constantly doing things. With ads, it's different. So you're being paid constantly, but the actual work and the time that you're putting into it isn't the same. Sometimes literally there's not a lot to do. You just open Ads Manager, you're like, yeah, this looks great. I'm not going to touch any of this because touching it could risk things going badly. And let's make hay while the sun shines, if that's the right saying. Whereas other times you might be like, things don't seem to be going quite so well here, so I'm going to add in some new ads, so I'm going to test some new copy, etc., etc. And there will be changes that you need to make. So in terms of time, it can work really well. I always found when William was younger and I was really short on time, ads was a way easier service for me to offer in terms of how it fit in around him. Much easier than organic. So if that is something that's important to you, then that's definitely something worth thinking about. And how much can you actually charge? Obviously, how long is a piece of string? That depends on you, your clients, their ads budget, where in the world you are, your expenses, all of that stuff as usual. But I would say the absolute bare minimum you should ever charge for ads, $750. Ideally, it's a 4-figure service. So you can see if you've already got a client and you just add on an ad service to an existing client and you charge them the bare minimum, immediately you're making an extra £750 a month. Yes, please, show me the money. Why would you not want to offer this service? Yeah, but Laura, would somebody hire me when I'm brand new? Yes, because like I've just said, you're not brand new. You already know all the things I've just told you already know. So you're never actually starting brand new. You have got that marketing and that social media background. You're just leveling it up. And look, actually, there can be some massive benefits being brand new, because if you think about it, ads have changed so much in the last 5-10 years, like so much, insane amounts. So an established ads manager who started doing ads 5 years ago has had to learn so many different changes. And if they're stuck in their old ways and resting on their laurels and they're not keeping up with things, do you think that client's getting a good service? No, they're probably not, because they may not have changed how they work. They may still be doing old ad strategies that no longer work as well as new things. So actually, a new ads manager might come in and see things and do things in a completely different way and therefore get better results. So actually now could be a brilliant time to become an ads manager and start learning all those things. But yes, a business would definitely hire somebody new, in inverted commas, because you're not actually new. And clients don't want somebody who is stuck in their ways. They don't necessarily need somebody who's got 10 years of ads behind them, because 10 years ago, ads looked massively different. If you think about it, right, ads have changed so much over the years that telling somebody you've been doing ads for 10 years isn't really that kind of mark of fame. It's not this brilliant badge that you can wear these days, because I want somebody who knows how ads work now, not how they worked 10 years ago. I want somebody who knows what they need to do now. So that's also your benefit. So it's summer. Now is the perfect time to start learning how to add this on. How do you get your first client? There's a few different ways. Of course, you can upsell to your existing clients. If you've got clients now and you know that they're doing well, maybe you've even had conversations with them and they're thinking about running ads, or maybe they're already running ads and they're not really happy with the results they're getting. Maybe their organic content or their search content is doing really well. So therefore ads can level up what's happening. So you can have conversations with your existing clients. Also, go and look at who's already in your network. That list that we spoke about earlier of who looks to run ads at specific times of year, who's in your network in those kind of brackets and is about to come into that busy season? Do you know who those people are? Maybe make a list and think about all of those people, who they could be, who you can go and speak to in your network. You could do what I did to get my very first ads client. I'd been running ads for quite a while, but I hadn't been being paid to do it. So I posted on my Facebook and I just said, does anyone know anyone who is thinking about running Facebook ads? This is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And my cousin tagged somebody in and that person became my client. I worked with them for 2.5 years. I only stopped working with them because I'd had enough of working with them, to be quite honest. And that's fine too. You can change your mind about anything because obviously it's your own business. But that's how I got that client. They stuck with me for 2.5 years. And that's important to hear because ads clients stay with you way longer than organic because you can prove the ROI. You can literally say to them, you spent £1,000 on ads this month. We've made you £5,000. Here you go. Here's the data. They're like, okay, great. What happens if you spend 2,000? Might I make 10 grand? Yeah, maybe. Let's test it. So they stay with you much longer because also they know when they stop spending money on ads, they stop making money. it's much easier for them to see. It's much harder for them to switch off ads or an ads manager than it is for them to switch off a social media manager. It's a much harder decision to do that because they can literally see what's happening. And that happened with that client. They stuck with me for 2.5 years. I didn't want to work with them anymore. They were gutted because I was doing a really good job for them and they were making money. So yeah, and it's always been the same with any of my ads clients. They've always stuck with me for a really long time. So if you're somebody who finds it difficult because organic clients come and go and you don't like that roller coaster, ads can be a really great way to flatten the peaks of those that roller coaster of freelancing, because people do stay with you much, much longer. So yes, there's just 3 really simple ways to get your first ads client. Upsell to an existing client, look in your network who might be about to hire, contact those people and just post somebody somewhere. Maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Threads, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Reddit. It doesn't matter where it is. Wherever you've got a community of people who are helpful, go and post there. And I posted literally on my personal profile on Facebook because my friends I knew would help. So you want to be asking people who you think are helpful. I didn't go into a Facebook group who I didn't know anyone and just be like, does anyone need a Facebook ads manager? But that's not to say that wouldn't work. It could work and it's definitely worth a try. But I would definitely start with hot leads, existing clients, existing network, friends, family who can refer you. But I would do it now. Don't wait till October because businesses are starting to think about running campaigns now. They're not starting to spend money now necessarily, but they're planning Q4 now in August, September, so that when October comes, they've got somebody on their radar or they've already hired somebody and they're ready to start spending money. The window is open now, but it closes really quickly for Q4. So we're actually going to run a Q4 ads manager sprint to help you to become an ads manager. It's only going to be £30 to join. Like, it's the smallest bet you can make on yourself, really. You literally can spend £30 and in 5 days, we will take you through what you need to know to become an ads manager. You don't need to be techie. Don't need to have run any ads. It's just £30 and 5 days to figure out what you're capable of. We're going to do it now this summer. We're going to make it really easy to run throughout the summer because we know you're busy. But summer is literally the best time to start thinking about becoming an ads manager because people are starting to think about hiring. So the sprint is going to be really simple for you to take part in. It will work around whatever plans you've already got going on, even if you're going on holiday. And like I said, it's only £30 to join. We'll make sure the link for that is in the show notes, but it will be thetwolauras.com/ads sprint. If you want to DM us on Instagram, if you find that easier, then send us a DM saying ads sprint and we'll send you the link. Sign up, come along and join us, and we will take you through everything you need to know to become an ads manager so you can start offering ads for Q4. All right, click the link that's in the show notes and save your spot. And if you've got any questions about it, obviously come and let us know. And if you're still not quite convinced about ads, but you're thinking, yeah, maybe this could be for me, then the ad sprint will definitely help with that as well. I started this podcast talking about how you might be worried about spending other people's money on ads. Hopefully, I've overcome that fear. But I do just want to reiterate that if you are still worried about that, that is why you will be one of the best managers there is, because you will be so focused on doing a great job for a client. And who is the best person to spend money on as an ads manager? Somebody who wants to do a great job for a client. So even though you've never run ads yet, you could become one of the best ads managers there is. I hope this inspires you, and I hope we will see you on the sprint, and we will be back really soon.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of JFDI with the two Lauras. If you want more support, strategy and systems to run your social media business, we send exclusive content to our email list almost every day. You can sign up at thetwolauras.com/emails. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at thetwolauras and visit our website thetwolauras.com for more advice and support. Thank you so much for being part of our community, and we'll see you on socials.